This week's reading is Organisation-Environment Relationships by Hillel Schmidt, PhD. Due to the decline of direct welfare provisions and a focus on individualism, human service organisations have a greater responsibility than ever to understand the social environment that they are in. Schmidt discusses the following three theoretical approaches and the implications they can have on an organisation. Ecological theories. So they're also known as the survival of the fittest, and the most common theory is the population ecology theory. So this focuses on the life and death of an organisation. So that is, what was happening in society for the organisation to form, and what change in society leads it to close. So the organisation operates and competes in an ecological niche. It has a resource space that defines and limits the number of organisations able to operate within that space. So organisations that fall into this category rely on funding from the government to service a particular issue or cause. The implication is that the organisation is sensitive to what is happening in society. So should the service that the organisation provides be no longer favourable with the current government, the organisation will lose its funding and is at risk of closing down. So the attitude of these organisations is to hope for the best and hope that should their services lose funding, that they can survive until political issues see them worthy of funding again. So institutional theories. So these focus on the organisation's ability to be responsive to government funding. They do this by developing procedures that align themselves with the regulations set by the government. They may also create positions within the organisation to gain credibility in this sector. So organisations that succeed at doing this increase their likelihood of survival, regardless if their services are effective or not. The implications of organisations operating this way is that they can tend to lose their identity by focusing on and developing themselves to revolve around the government rules without considering the overall effect it will have on their clients. Also, organisations can be consumed with gaining set government funding and that they don't look for other opportunities to create different services or programs for their clients. Organisation adaptation theories. So these theories can be understood as a learning process where organisations develop ways to understand what is happening outside and inside their organisations and how they can fit between the two. With this knowledge, they focus on creating the best solution to a problem while ensuring their survival. There are three main theoretical approaches to the adaptation theory. They are contingency theory. So this is where the organisation will develop an internal structure that represents what is happening in society. And if the outside environment is unstable, they can adapt a more fluid approach to working. Then there's political economy theory. So this is the understanding that the more an organisation relies on outside resources, the stronger the influence these suppliers will have on the internal processes of the organisation. And the third approach is resource dependency theory, where organisations that do solely rely on outside resources will strive to change the power dependency relationship by reducing their dependence on those outside resources and increasing the dependence of the outside resources agents on their services. So implications of organisational adaptation theories are that organisations are focused on developing unique services and programs that are different to its competitors, and that they look at reducing their dependency on a single resource for survival. So organisations under this theory are seen as able to manage and influence the outside environment.